Wow, that's crazy how Captain America died.
Did he really though?
I'm just kidding. He probably didn't.
But maybe.
But they're making it seem like he might have.
In the blip or in the war?
After both.
Are they?
Okay. We still don't have a name for this podcast yet. So we don't have an intro. But welcome back to this particular podcast.
Oh, that should be the name. This particular podcast.
I can't tell if that's better or worse than the first one we had.
Better.
Okay. What? Okay.
What?
We're talking the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Or I guess now we should just call it
Bucky.
Falcon and James.
But he's not the Winter Soldier anymore.
He doesn't want to be called the Winter Soldier.
Jamie and Falcon.
He's not going by Bucky. He's going by James.
He got a therapist.
Sam and James. James has a therapist.
What a bitch. All the women in the show are bitches so far.
Explain.
The girl at the bar, she's like, oh, you brought me roses? That's kind of cliche. The sister doesn't want help. No, she's like the less
Wow,
bitcher.
I didn't even put that together. All of the females in the show
bitches so far, but
are
for good
very
reasons.
rude and stuff.
Well, the one that can't
Good
get the
reasons,
loan has
really,
a good
though?
reason. She can't. She's been alone with the kids for
Yeah, and now somebody
years.
wants to help her, and she's like, "Fuck off."
She's used to being alone, so she's like, oh, you
Well,
just want
that's
to
her
swoop
problem.
in and save the day. You can't be a hero
That's
in
her
this
problem.
scenario.
I wish somebody would come pay for my loans.
But then when she feel bad, she probably just feels bad. She's like,
This dude
Can't
is
provide
like,
for
every
each other?
time we see them together, he's like, "I want to do this," and then
But
he
I
keeps
won't.
going. He keeps trying to help her to the point where she's like, "How many times? What are you trying to prove? Nothing. I just want to help you."
Yeah.
This isn't like some
I don't
lesson
know.
I'm trying to fucking teach.
She's salty still about father. Her
I
dad
guess so.
dying. Yeah.
But,
Being a bitch.
it's
The
their
girl at
dad,
the bar.
right? Are they
Yeah.
siblings?
Yeah. At first I thought they were like a fling and it wasn't clear.
Yeah.
But then yeah. I think he mentioned sister when he was talking about someone else.
So overall, what do you think of this episode?
I like Bucky's part a lot more than Falcon's part.
What do you like about it?
He had that whole dream flashback with the whole story with that guy that he killed, and he's like has people in his life that are related to him and he can't tell them about it, or he's trying to make amends for everything but still being a bad person, trying to rehabilitate himself.
Yeah.
He's like, what's the point of life right now?
Yeah.
Pretty relatable. Trying to get a girlfriend. Ooh. Tried the whole online dating thing. That's funny.
Very
And he's
weird.
like old too, right? Like Captain, so he
He's like
doesn't know anything about
100 years
anything.
old.
Poor guy, lost all his friends, everybody. The only person that was his age that was alive there died or incognito.
I think he might actually be older than Captain America. Because they kept pulling him out of the ice to do those missions, which would age him up, right?
Really?
Captain America was just like frozen
Oh, yeah.
for like 70 years the entire time.
Uh-huh.
And he just kept getting brought out
That's
throughout that
true.
time.
But refrozen or just brought out
Yeah.
earlier?
They would like unfreeze him.
Oh, I guess
I think they
so.
would have to brainwash him again.
Oh,
He'd go
yeah.
out, kill somebody. Oh, sorry, Tony, your parents are dead now.
Oh,
And then come back
yeah.
and put him under ice again.
Oh, okay.
And then just repeat the
That's a
cycle.
tough life. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Do we know how many people he killed?
No.
At first I thought
Probably.
that,
Probably hundreds.
but then the whole
If
amends thing,
he's at the point to where like he's at a random spot in the world and living his life,
Mhm.
and then that a person that he has a connection to
happens
had
to be-
somebody who was killed by him,
That's not a coincidence. There's so many people.
he has to have killed so many fucking people
Uh-huh.
that it's probably countless at this point.
True.
He's affected many lives.
Mm-hmm. Many people know this one particular person, so I was confused in the beginning with the list.
Let me be honest.
Oh yeah,
I'll let you
did they-
finish. First of all, Beyonce had the best album of the year or whatever. Second of all,
Kanye.
did you see that Beyonce won
Oh,
with Megan Thee Stallion for best rap song?
was it the That's My
And
Best
she's not a
Friend?
rapper, so she just won an award
Oh,
for not being a rapper.
I didn't notice. I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was funny.
For what?
I forget the song.
Like what type of award?
What type of word?
Award.
Best rap song.
Like for what?
Oh,
like
what?
Grammys, like
I think it was the Grammys that happened.
Oh.
Yeah. The only part of that
So
song I
that's
remember
right.
is when when Beyonce said OnlyFans. I'm like, well, that's the world we're living in now. Beyonce is talking about OnlyFans. All right.
Oh.
Anyways, that was the fucking tangent I didn't expect to go on. 2. What was I listing off?
I don't even. Oh, the whole thing with his list? Oh, I don't know, actually.
No.
Oh, you were confused. Because I said I was confused. You were going to be like,
oh, yeah, I'll let you finish.
Oh, yeah.
I was confused for most of the episode. And that's something, because you know me. Listeners, you don't know me.
That's the norm.
You know me. Like,
usually
I'm
like,
always
that's
fucking
this
thinking
and
100 levels about every little moment
every
of
connection.
everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I usually have a pretty good grasp on shit like this.
Uh-huh.
I was lost most of the time. And then in the middle I had to ask you, I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Still
I had to do
really
that at the
sure.
beginning too.
And what did it have to do with, I guess, the border?
Yeah, they brought back George St. Pierre back.
And killed him, maybe? Oh, no, he fell off, huh?
No,
he jumped
yeah,
down.
he had those little bat
I thought
wings,
he kind of
he's
still
good.
exploded, but no. Yeah.
Yeah, they just, right from the start, I was confused. Because, oh wait, I said I'd let you finish. Go ahead.
The whole list thing. The whole amends, I was confused about that. Like, how he was like, it was the woman, but like trying to make amends, but he...
Yeah, the way he was going about it, I was confused about.
I
That's
thought it
what
was
you're talking
someone
about?
like he killed, but he's like, is that someone in his life? He said like she has some power, probably not power, but like, ooh, because of me, she has this power.
Like a power dynamic?
Yeah, like maybe in government or something, because they were talking about politics and all that.
Yeah.
So he was just trying to like shake her up about something. But like she was on the list.
But
I guess like people he's affected.
I was confused by that. Yeah. I kind of liked it. It's like, have you ever watched My Name is Earl?
I don't think so.
That's the entire show. It's great. The entire show it starts off with him, it's been a while since I've seen it. But I think before the show happens, or like right before then, something, where he got a winning lottery ticket. And I think he was like so happy, he was like just running around, got hit by a car or something. I think that's not, or maybe somebody else in the show. Anyways, he like, something happened to where karma caught up to him. So he has this realization. He's like, I've been a pretty fucked up dude for so long. I need to go back and correct all this shit to get good karma. So he has a list.
Survived the crash? Or like,
yeah, but like, I forget what the fuck. Maybe like he gets hit and then somebody else picks up his ticket.
Oh.
So yeah, he loses his fortune, and then he sees that as bad karma. Welcome to the My Name is Earl podcast. But yeah, that's the entire show where he just like he wants to cross everything off the list
of like people he has to make up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you meet people you like fucked over in the past. It's a very cool concept for a show like that because it's very episodic, but then there's also a through line. It's really cool. But yeah, I like that aspect of it.
Even though he kind of just didn't really like resolve it, he's just like still mad about it. He crossed it off as if he's like, okay, I made amends. And he's like, I'm not the Winter Soldier anymore. He has to say that for everything. It's supposed to be like conversation probably, but he just
I guess so.
Incriminates himself. I wonder why they didn't call the cops.
I was a little confused by that because it's like, ooh, I think rule number 1 is like, don't do anything illegal. But it's like programming somebody's car and locking the door and driving them around.
Because it doesn't exist. Well, he also...
I feel like that would be illegal.
Don't hurt anybody, and he punched the guy, right?
Did he?
Uh-huh. The guy in the passenger seat punched him. And like, are you sure you didn't hurt anybody? He's like, positive. Or like, I'm sure. So he's just not going through any of them.
So he's still like a shady dude still. Okay.
Yeah. You can't change overnight. It's all good rehabilitation.
It's a little weird, though. Because I remember when he's not first introduced in Infinity War, but when he sees Captain America, it's like they treat it like a moment where he's totally rehabilitated.
Oh.
He's like, I forget what it was, but he's just like, I don't know. Maybe it was just me that got the feeling, but it's like, oh, he's good now. He was in Wakanda for like 2 years. They fixed his brain.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's allowed. He got the arm back. He's got weapons. He's good now. But I guess not.
His best friend died.
I'm not saying I don't like it, but it's just, I don't know, a little conflicting.
So he got a pardon.
Yeah.
And he has to be good and good
I
health.
wonder
so
who pardoned him.
Wakandians. They're part of the government now, right? I don't know.
Because isn't this dude like an international threat?
Wasn't he? You remember that white guy that went to Wakanda?
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Was he like a president?
Something Ross. Agent Ross or...
Oh, well, he wasn't like part of the government or anything like that. I thought maybe because he saw them and like, oh, he was part of that. I don't know.
I think
I'm thinking
so.
of Black Panther. Maybe they just pardoned everybody that all the heroes are saved because they all technically did.
Yeah, I guess that
did
makes
the Endgame
sense.
thing.
But then also it seems like at the start of the show, it seems like they're still going by the Sokovia Accords. It's like, oh, you can't cross the border and stuff like that, so it's...
Yeah, just so they could be safe about it.
But then again, like, the fucking government shady as fuck, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. I shouldn't expect
They're
them to just have, like, a clear cut...
because everything that happened. I like how they named it the blip.
I don't.
What else would they call it? Or, like...
I don't know, but I like just calling it the
sound like
snap.
a blimp, but yeah.
The blip is a little like...
It's kind of like...
They introduced it in Spider-Man, and I liked it there because I thought that was just like what the kids called it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like what the entire world calls it, and it's like, I don't know.
Or maybe some people have different names for it.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping, but
like
it looks like it might be a universal thing. Like it's just called the blip. Yeah, it caught on.
Like
Thanks, Darcy.
In The Walking Dead, certain people of different areas, they call the zombies different things. Like, ooh, this area calls walkers. Ooh, the dead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whatever.
That's why I thought this was going to be.
Maybe.
Then again, they could, I don't know.
Maybe just to not confuse it. Or
I think they called it the blip in WandaVision too. I think that's just the name they're going with. Yeah. But I don't know, it just seems like a high schooler thing. It's like, oh, the blip.
Yeah.
The snap is like simple too, but it's like, I don't know. To me, there's like some danger on it. It's very mysterious when the snap happened.
Do they all know that it happened because of it?
Also, is the blip... I think so. I think this is like 5 years later. I think they know the story about what happened. Or you know what? That is a good question. Because in order for them to know about the snap, they would need to know that Thanos slapped his fingers together. His fingers are so big. But then that would give other people the idea, if I exactly. It's
I
like,
could do the same thing. So
you're telling me he just snapped? Oh, well, no, he had like these stones. The stones. Oh, it's just this little thing.
Instead of just
they control the entire universe.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I can just snap and do whatever I want? So maybe they didn't. Maybe they don't know.
They're just like, an unknown phenomenon.
I hope they answer that question in this. Because this series seems more grounded, so... Like, I hope they address, like...
Maybe they'll have a part of the museum that has, like, some Thanos stuff or, like, piece of the globe or something.
Honoring Thanos, I like it.
Oh, wait, that was Tony. Yeah. Oh, honoring Thanos? I don't know, just like
also...
a little victory.
They can't even really... How are they going to do that? That's weird.
They don't know that Captain
because, like... Back. I understand that one, though, because it's like, you gotta keep time travel away from people. You can't tell people, but then it's like he's old now because, he, traveled back in time, lived a life, and then came back. But, yeah, like, it wouldn't just apply to Thanos. They can't say the stones, because Tony, too. In order to know what happened to Tony, it's the same thing.
Unless they just say he, died in, the battle or whatever. Because that's, a lot of people, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. I hope they answer that question. Because that's a big thing.
Because then, how is not everybody just panicking, something happened? But then they're used to superheroes, too, huh? Their lives are different. Yeah. And it's we've experienced it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see a little museum, a little piece of something.
Maybe.
That shows the
You
news
do
or something.
bring up an interesting point, though. I didn't think about that. I wonder if they're going to deal with that. So Cap is back.
Is he?
Yeah. You saw him at the end.
Oh, yeah. That one guy, Skinny Bone Jones. So, yeah, do you think he has powers, or he's just like...
He's probably just a dude.
Yeah. Some people are going to try to attack him.
I wouldn't be surprised, like,
it'll be a different
in the
guy
next episode or at some point in the series, where it's like either Falcon or Bucky or somebody talks to that guy without a crowd and stuff, and the guy just
like,
breaks down. And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Or he's just like...
I'm not superpowered. I don't know what I'm doing. I was just in the military and they plucked me out and they're like, you're Captain America now. I don't know what this is.
That'll be right after, like, someone maybe tries to assassinate him.
Now I'm fighting superpowered people.
Yeah.
And I can't do anything.
People trying to assassinate me.
But because I have the right look, I'm Captain America now. Yeah. It's bullshit.
It'll be like that guy in the other, I forget what movie, with the beard. He was that,
the
like, terrorist. Yeah.
I'm an actor. I'm an actor.
Like, oh, all of a sudden y'all want to shoot me?
Yeah.
It's going to be his play.
I think, but I don't know. It seems like it's going to be a serious show. So maybe they don't do something silly like that. Because it would be pretty silly.
Nobody laughs in the show. Except for that girl. Could we talk about how he ditched his date? Or maybe that whole, the guy story, the one he killed.
Let's talk about it.
So at first I thought the nightmare was just like just a nightmare, like someone random, but it was an actual person he killed, and he was like thinking back at it. But he didn't know that the guy was related to him at all, right? Or do you think he like found him and then like started helping him out with stuff? I don't really know what their relationship is either.
I think when he started talking about his son.
Yeah, he's just like...
Which, by the way, neither of us know if it's the son or the nephew. It's a little fuzzy. Yeah. But we're running off the assumption that he was the old man's son. Yeah. Because he was very sad.
Yeah. And the guy was like in college, I think.
I think... Yeah, he didn't know until the guy started talking about his son.
Oh, okay.
And that's when James is like, fuck.
Yeah, he like closed his eyes like disappointed himself.
Yeah.
And then the girl has to bring it up on their date.
Alright, you want to talk about that girl? Because you hated her.
I mean,
I do too, but...
Like, I don't hate her, but like, why gotta be such a...
She's another Darcy.
Yeah,
potentially.
Kind of. Like, the whole thing, like, oh, okay, I don't know. Maybe it's just like the cliche of her character, that she's like the... And it's like, I don't know. I'm like, ooh, you brought me flowers? Thanks for the cliche. She didn't say like that.
No, that was old-fashioned.
Just like,
old-fashioned? What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, I forgot old-fashioned. I forgot he's old. She probably knows, right? Like, how do you not know that's Bucky? Or no. She'll be like that person. I was like, oh, I was pretending not to know, but I kind of knew, but it's all good. Because, like, I'm not like the other girls, you know?
I feel like Bucky's history is a little bit more secretive. Especially now that he has that haircut.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, he was in the news.
And then he always had that mask, right? Or no?
Yeah, but he was...
Is that going to get revealed? Or just the Winter Soldier?
I don't know.
Maybe not his name. And if it's Bucky...
Because if he's going around telling people he's not the Winter Soldier anymore...
They know.
Then that's what he's known as. I'm trying to remember if they actually showed his face in past movies.
I think maybe with the mask, no? Because we weren't sure at first, like, who it was. But they caught a video of him with the mask, and that was what it was, like, plastered everywhere. Maybe. When he had, like, the full thing, I think. I don't know. Probably.
When that scene was first happening, I for sure thought that wasn't Bucky. I thought it was just, like, a lookalike. I'm like,
oh, you mean the dream? Or what do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you thought it was a fake actual person?
Yeah. That's still framing Bucky, but it's like from the government.
Like another copy. I thought you
meant
like
are we about to go into some like clone shit?
I thought you meant like he was acting as if he's evil just to like.
Oh yeah, that.
Like maybe he's pretending he's in control because someone tried to control him, and then like. Blah, blah,
what I'm saying now about the clone, that was like my first instinct one, and then
you thought.
And then I thought about it a little bit more. I'm like, that's probably not what it is. But then I'm like, oh, what if? Yeah, if he's faking. being the Winter Soldier to kill the bad guys.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought. Where it's like, oh, somebody tries to brainwash him again. Mm-hmm. He's like, that doesn't work anymore.
Oh, yeah. But he pretends.
Yeah. I thought they were going there with that, but no. It was just a memory.
Potentially do that.
A distant memory.
So they use those words again, like the keywords. He can't, like, get hypnotized again, right? Is that how they fixed him?
See, that's what I'm confused about. I thought
someone knows.
Being in Wakanda for 2 years fixed that. Yeah. But he's still shady now, so it's like...
Like, it's not...
I don't know.
Because he's just trying to make amends, but all he's known is death. Maybe. I don't know. Just like a regular guy who kills.
I like to think
Same.
Those words can't hurt him anymore. Like he can't be turned.
Sticks and stones.
I'm hoping that when Zemo shows up, the guy from Civil War that's coming back, I'm hoping he tries to brainwash him like he did in Civil War.
Oh yeah, and then he like pretends.
And then Bucky's like,
and we're like,
nah, nah, bitch, not this time.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't know he's fixed.
Yeah.
Potentially. Who fights him in the other movie? Was it Bucky or someone else? Or Captain? I don't really remember.
Or what?
Like in the other movie where that guy is.
Zemo?
Yeah.
Like who fought him?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really fight. He just like maneuvered around and stuff. Oh, you're talking about the fighter guy?
Like the one that we saw in this one that was in another movie, apparently.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the fighter, George St. Pierre?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who did he or where? I don't really remember.
He was in the Winter Soldier Captain America movie. Like, at the beginning. It's not a big part at all. Oh. Like, if I didn't know the fighter and stuff, I wouldn't have recognized him either. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was just like in the beginning to give like, it's like, oh my god, Captain America is so good at fighting. That was why he was there. I think he got defeated. Mm-hmm. But it's like they brought him back, which was a surprise because it's like it wasn't a big role in the first one that he appeared in. So the fact that they brought him back here, really cool.
Mm. Can we talk about the whole boat fiasco?
Sure. Because I still don't really understand it.
So I guess the ship is like a family thing. I don't know if it was sunk, if that's why they're like, ooh, we gotta renovate it, or if it's just old. But also, they played Battleship, a game where you try to sink other people's ships.
Yeah.
And what's with the ships? I don't know.
Yeah. Weird stuff.
Seems like a bad
But
sign.
I thought the Battleship game was less about Sam and his ship fiasco, but more like, oh, Bucky was in the military. He was a soldier. And it's like, oh, they were on ships, I guess.
Oh. First date, let me bring up how someone's son died and how depressing it is for someone. Let me just talk shit about him.
And then also, that confused me. On top of that, which is very weird to do, but it's like from outside of the show looking in, right? Mm-hmm. It's like she didn't present any new information to him that he didn't know from talking to the actual dad.
Yeah.
So it's like she was just like regurgitating what we already saw. So I'm like, what
made him
leave? What's the new angle you're presenting by bringing this up? So it's like she just brought it up again. It's like, what?
Someone else. I don't know. And then he had to be looking at his shrine when he came in, probably to tell him that he killed his son.
Yeah.
And then he's like, never mind, bro. Here's the money that I was gonna use to buy his food, but I didn't. I guess we ended up buying each other's food.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. It's not very important, but it's kind of important. Bucky was supposed to pay for lunch. Apparently he didn't. And they both were just able to leave the restaurant.
I think.
And instead of going back to the place they ate to give them the money, he goes and gives the old man the money. So assumingly, the next day that guy could go to the restaurant and give them the money.
What do you mean? I assume I thought it was like...
Unless the old man paid...
I'm assuming like they...
Okay, let me rant. This is This is the only thing in the show that I think I understand completely.
No, you don't. Well, wait, what do you think?
Okay,
so
let me tell you. There's two different possibilities here. One is that they ate. Bucky was supposed to pay. He did not. Both of them left the restaurant. Right?
No paying.
Later on, without paying.
Okay.
Without paying. I don't know why I just repeated that. They left. Bucky did his thing. The old man is looking at the pictures on the wall. Bucky goes back to the old man's apartment, gives the old man the money for the dinner he didn't pay for. The old man now has the money for the meal that hasn't been... Hold on. Okay. For the money that has not been paid for. The old man now needs to go to the restaurant at a later date, TBA. No. Hold on. To give them the money for the meal that wasn't paid for. Or, hold on. I know what you're thinking. That's why possibility number 2 shows up. Okay. Bucky was supposed to pay for the meal. Bucky did not pay for the meal. The old man paid for the meal. Later, after he's looking at the pictures on the wall, Bucky comes knocking on his door. Bucky gives him the money to cover for the meal that the old man had to pay for. Right? Is that what you were going to tell me during the first possibility? Or is there a third possibility?
I thought like they just like individually paid for their own meals. And then he like... This is important. And then he's like, oh, why? That's like, ooh, like, you paying for yours and I pay for mine. Because they probably left at different times. He left early, paid for his and left. And then he's like, oh, let me pay. I forgot to pay for your side, so here's yours. And that's
Listen, what you're saying now is me saying, let's go across the street and get food. Yeah. I'm paying. We go there.
And we both pay.
And then we just pay individually.
Yeah, because if you leave at different times.
And then later I come back and I'm like, oh, I said I was going to cover lunch, so here you go. Yeah. What?
I mean, like, just because, like...
Bucky's kind of an asshole, then.
Why? He paid for his meal.
Later on.
Yeah, because he probably had to go, and they, like, didn't eat at the same time, and the other guy
So you're saying he had time to pay for his own meal?
Like, if he had to leave,
but not the other guy's meal that he said he was going to pay for?
Yeah, he probably, like, just put the money down, he had to leave. And the guy wasn't finished eating. How's he going to pay yet? Maybe he's going to get another drink. Blah, blah, blah. It's a bar, isn't it? It's probably just drinks. Like, and then he, like, ended up paying. And he's like, oh, I forgot I was going to pay. And, paid for his or something.
I guess so.
Not the whole, let's leave the restaurant with nothing. And then, let me go pay the restaurant.
That's what I thought happened.
Free food. Why are you going to pay them if you already ate?
It's like, here's the money. You got to go pay them now.
Oh, no.
That's what I thought happened. Okay. I'm telling you, I was confused during this episode.
The bar person is, like, friendly. So, well, not that
friendly, is he?
But she's a woman. The girl that he dated.
I was not kidding when I said I was lost during this episode. I don't know what's going on. It was a woman.
Yeah, that's her. The girl he dated or went to the... She's a bartender.
Oh.
It's a bar, so it's probably just drinks.
Okay, that makes sense. That's even weirder then.
What do you mean?
Wait a second. That looks terrible. Why would she go on a date with him?
Why not? Because
he just lied to the old man, who she already knows he's very sad.
Lied to him about what?
This old man's down on his luck. His son got murdered. Doesn't know how or whatever.
10 years ago, yeah.
Apparently he's got a shrine that he's just looking at all day. And so she already knows he's down on his luck. He's feeling bad. This old young dude, Bucky, shows up. Yeah. He's like, I'll pay for your meal. Yeah. Okay, no talking. There's talking. And then he doesn't pay for the old man. So the woman is like,
she probably didn't
I'm
know
going
about
on
that.
A date with this dude. So it wouldn't have come up? Because what if she's like,
They probably
Hey,
forgot
old
about
man.
it by the time they were talking about
Hey,
his
old
stuff.
man. Hey, old
What
man.
was his name?
It's I don't know his name.
Isn't that her dad? I'm just kidding. I thought they were related at first.
Hey, old man, you owe me some money. I think he's like, James said he was gonna pay for it.
Oh, he probably paid for his own. That's it.
But it's like he wouldn't have like been confused at all.
I've been like, oh, you forgot.
I don't know.
It was just something you say. Hey, it's
'Cause
on me.
It felt like him goading him into being with him by paying.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like that's like not a regular occurrence. We're talking about this for way too long.
Man's cheap.
But so it seems like Bucky doesn't pay a lot of the time. It's usually the old man. So now we have an exception to this rule, a rare occurrence, mind you. And Bucky doesn't follow through with it.
Maybe because he doesn't usually.
I think that old man would be confused by that. Like, what the fuck? I'm here because of him. Because first I said no talking, there's talking. And then
probably said that just to like talk
I know,
to them.
I'm just giving him a hard time. But I'm just saying, like, metaphorically, like, everything that he wanted, he went down there for, that he wanted. Everything that he wanted.
I just wanted my drink, and that's it.
Just didn't come true. He's talking during this, and then he's going in. He's like, "Hey, I'm getting a free drinks or a free meal or what." I don't know where they were at. I'm lost during this episode. And then turns out, oh no, I gotta pay.
Okay.
What?
Just something you say to have someone.
I don't think that's just something you just say.
Like,
hey, how's your day? Oh, mine is good. How is yours? Mine is good. That's something you just say. Not,
like,
hey,
drinks on me.
You don't want to be with me right now. But come with me and I'll pay for you.
You wanted to get him out of the trouble with the guy with the trash and shit. How about Falcon?
Okay.
What do you think about him? Very serious, huh?
Yeah, very serious.
No smile.
He cracks some jokes sometimes. But it's like...
His sidekick.
It's a serious series, I guess. Because it's just like... Everybody's talking about something serious. Yeah. And there wasn't a whole lot going on.
Government shit. Politics.
There's some racism going on.
Captain's shield's being put away.
Oh, okay, yeah. Alright, so, yeah. I knew there was going to be a new Captain America. Like a government one. Yeah. So I figured that they would want to get the actual shield off of Sam. Because you can't just have another dude going like, this is the shield Cap gave me. I'm Captain America. So I was surprised. Pleasantly surprised when, well, no.
You were surprised.
I was surprised. I was surprised that Sam just gave it up. He's like, I don't want this.
He's not Captain America. What do you mean? Surprised?
Yeah, I was surprised. Because I thought they would, like, forcefully take it from him.
But then people will be like, wow, you're just gonna take his shield. He just died. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Wait, what do you...
Like it,
who's they? Us or the people in...
Both, I guess. Well, the government, obviously.
I feel like the benefit would be for us having that reaction because we're not supposed to like the government. The people in the world wouldn't know that they forcefully took it from them. They'd just be like, oh, Captain America left his shield or something. But yeah, Sam giving it up was surprising.
He's not Captain America, though.
He is, though. Steve named him Captain America. And that's why Rhodey was like, why didn't you take up the mantle?
I name you John Watson. You're John Watson now.
John Watson.
I named you it, so you gotta be it now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Captain America named him the new Captain America, so therefore he has to be the Captain America.
Who's John Watson?
I don't know, just a random name I gave you. That is now your name.
Oh, I heard Watson, and I thought you were like doing like a Sherlock connection or something. What's funny is I think the fake Captain America, I'm not sure about this, but his name is John Walker.
Oh.
Yeah, so I thought you were saying something along those lines too. All right. No, like it'd be different if like Steve showed up as an old man and then he was just like, "Hey, Sam, you're Captain America now." And he was like,
I know you just told me that yesterday.
"Okay," but he literally gave him the shield too, and he's like, "It feels like it's somebody else's," and Steve's like, "It's not. That's the certified stamp. You're Captain America."
But what if he doesn't want to be? He could change the shield, actually.
But, like, I feel like at the end of the show, he's going to be, right? That's going to be the arc that it goes on. He's like, I'm taking the shield. I'm Captain America.
But then, would the name of the show change?
Not necessarily, because he's still Falcon.
Then he wouldn't be Falcon. He'd be Captain America.
Like, the Winter Soldier's going by James now. Winter Soldier's in the title. But it's like, they made it clear that he doesn't want to be called that. Yeah. Falcon's still his name. Like, I don't think, like, when he's like, I'm Captain America, he's just gonna, like, take off the wings and stuff. I think he's still gonna have that.
He should make the shield his, right? Like, change how it looks?
Yeah.
Or no? Or would that be disrespectful?
Maybe, like...
Or just get his own? Or does it have to be that shield? He's like, oh, it's not mine.
I think you could change up the colors if you want.
I would feel personally like, oh, this isn't me. Like, I'm taking someone's identity.
I feel like that's why they have the Flag Smashers there.
Flag Smashers? Yeah,
that's the group of the people with the handprints on their faces and stuff.
Oh.
Where they're like, they don't want any borders and stuff. I think that's going to bleed into Falcon's thing of like, Captain America doesn't have to literally be America only.
Oh.
Like, he could expand it. It's just a universal symbol of, you know, just for the whole world. And then he's like, I changed the colors of the shield. Because it's like, the Captain America idea is bigger than just red, white, and blue.
I like his,
I hope he changes it to the red and, like, silver he has for his suit. Looks pretty cool.
He has red?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was, like, blue. I like his, wing stuff. Like, I don't know if he always had it. Did he always have the wing shield? No. I was like, oh, okay.
They gave him some upgrades.
And then the top thing. They're just stealing Tony Stark's. I wonder if he made that. Or, like, the government peeps. No, I guess not.
Yeah.
He's unemployed for 5 years because he was dead. Or not alive.
Yeah, what is strange? It seems like they're like,
alone.
Oh, he's both Captain America and Iron Man.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got his little red wing dude flying by him. They're having the close-ups like they used to do with Tony in the suit. But it's like, the only reason I find it weird is because they have an Ironheart show coming out soon. Which is like, the logo for the show is literally like the Iron Man one and stuff.
The heart?
Yeah, Ironheart. It's gonna be,
it's gonna be his daughter.
No, it's gonna be like a different girl. I think it's...
Oh.
I forget who it is, but it's like basically just like a random black girl.
Oh.
There's theories that it might be like in Civil War at the start. You know where Tony has his like illusion tech, the barf tech? And then it turns out, oh, I'm presenting in front of all these students.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, all your science projects just got approved for funding. There's a theory that she might have been one of the students there.
Oh,
and then that's what kickstarts her thing. I hope they go that way.
Yeah, that's cool. Like an audience.
Yeah. And like that scene will just become very important then, because it sets up Tony and his parents. And then you got fucking Mysterio backstage getting upset. And then you got her in the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking give me the stories of everybody in that room, I guess.
He inspired so many people.
I like that. Some people online don't like that. Yeah, how Tony has... They're like, ooh, the Spider-Man movies, Peter Parker's always dealing with Tony Stark's. Like, people upset about Tony Stark, so Spider-Man has to fight. I fucking love that shit. That, like, shows how important he was. It's like, even after he's dead, there's still fucking trickle-down Reaganomics.
The Stark,
it's just going down.
The bomb, One Division.
Yeah, like, his fingerprints are still
even
everywhere.
Even though he wasn't responsible for everything.
Yeah.
Racism.
Yeah. Yeah, they're throwing in some racism in there. And like I said before we started watching, it was like, it wasn't like, it wasn't all up in your face where it's like, you see this, what's happening right here is racism, and racism is bad.
At first I thought you were just joking when you were like, oh, I get it because they're black, but then...
Yeah, no, I was being serious, where it's like, yeah, a former Avenger, where the guy literally a minute ago freaked out.
I knew he wasn't
and took a picture with him.
They're like, but no, we can't give you a loan.
It doesn't matter if, he literally gave him receipts. He's like, I'm a government employee, so like, that's proof. What's higher proof than government approval?
Like secure.
And then, so apparently that's how racism works. Just they find out little fucking things and like, sorry.
But we're not,
sorry, you can't get that loan. I don't care if you're the Falcon and I just freaked out about who you are.
Captain America. Someone white.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Well, I
never considered until he said it. Like, how do you get paid? Or like, what's your job? Or like, if they get paid.
Yeah.
Until the guy said it.
You think it's like just a casual thing, but he's like subconsciously just like trying to get in there and find any reason to be like, no. Yeah. It's very weird. That's how racism works. Very subtle. Yeah. Yeah, so I appreciate that. Seems like they're going to be doing that a lot. They did it on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, really?
In one of the seasons. Not giving out any spoilers, but in one of the seasons, there's a black character on the team. And they're on a mission and stuff. And the guy's just like encountering like casual racism all the time.
Oh.
It's like he's walking with one of his team members, and like somebody, like a civilian, is like, what are you doing with your shadow? And stuff like that. Just very subtle shit. It just like could push him over the fucking edge. So yeah. And then obviously, I think the biggest thing, got a new cap, but it seemed like it happened very quickly after he gave up the shield. So it's like,
so people wouldn't.
Why can't Falcon have been the hero?
Oh yeah.
Makes you think.
I wasn't asked.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't even ask him.
What about all the other
so.
heroes? They're not like. What about all the other heroes? Or is there not many in Earth now? Like the ones in Wakanda, maybe.
I think it's both that. Well, they probably don't want any Wakandans because they're black.
Oh right.
But I think both. There's not many heroes around. Like Thor and all them are up in space. Captain Marvel's gone.
Off-world.
Tony, Cap, the main ones are like gone.
Spider-Man's too young.
Yeah. So it's that. But I think mainly it's because they want like government controlled people. They want people through the system that's going to listen to them. Because they don't even have Wanda.
Oh yeah.
Doctor Strange, I can't imagine would sign the Accords. Yeah, so they don't have many people who were first around to help them. Second, willing to be government puppets. Yeah. But the thing is, at the start, it looked like Falcon is abiding by the Accords, which implies that, like, after Endgame, he signed the Accords finally.
Probably the only one.
Which throws even more suspicion. It's like why wouldn't you have him be Cap if he's following your thing?
And not even Cap, it could be his own Falcon. It's like still on brand with the whole, I don't know, Falcon. It's like Eagle.
Yeah.
He's like, ooh, like guardian, protecting everybody.
Yeah. Falcon's suit is fucking hot though. That shit's a beauty. That looks cool. I don't know if they must have changed it. Because it's a show or something, but it's like, I don't remember how different his suit was in the past, but I just feel like it's new, and I like it.
Be subtle. You pointed out how the sister was like crying before anything even happened on the TV. Oh,
okay, yeah. Let me break that down. Because there's not a ton of stuff to break down during this episode. It wasn't that eventful. But okay, so at the end, where I forget the name, but I think it's Falcon's sister, or it has to be the sister, right? Because they're sharing the boat and stuff.
The kids better.
Falcon's sister is like, yeah, we'll talk about that afterwards. The kids. She's crying and she's like, "You got to see this, Sam." He turns on the TV and it's some official talking how the country desperately needs a new hero. And they introduce a new Cap. But while he's making this announcement, the sister is already crying as if she knew what was going on. But it's like, he started getting into the announcement after she ran in and told Sam about it. So it's like, what was the dude talking about before that?
Maybe it's like a replay of the live version or something, and like she saw like an alert or something on her phone or like something else, and then she's like, "Ooh, I gotta show him."
Maybe.
Or was it? I don't know.
But that's weird,
But yeah,
right?
at first I thought it was like, "Ooh, they want a new Captain or whatever," and she was thinking like, "Oh, him, like we need this right now, obviously. Government job, maybe they'll pay him a lot to be that person." But no. I thought that's where she was going, where she's like, "Oh, like you can do this," like, "Oh, I'm like tearing me up. We're desperate." And then they just like,
I don't know. That was a weird moment for me.
I thought
you find it weird too, right?
Okay.
It's like, it's always the weird stuff during like movies and TV shows and stuff like that, where it's like during news broadcasts and stuff, where it's like people already have a reaction to what's happening before it happens, and it's like,
yeah. I don't know.
How
Maybe
the
it's
fuck
just like,
do you
"Oh,
have
it's
information?" And then also, it's like weird because it's like when they turn on the TV, that's just the magic point in which the important stuff is going down. Very stuff. So they kind of fell into that little trope there, but yeah.
Her kids.
Oh yeah, the kids.
First they look identical, but one's a girl, one's a boy, right?
Yeah, probably fraternal twins.
One looks older though, or younger than the other. But yeah, they're cliche too, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, "Ooh, I like video games." Oh my god. Don't really have personality, both of them. Yeah. They obviously don't listen because she's been too busy working, hasn't had time to really discipline them, so they just do whatever they want, right?
Yeah. Right. And it's like, oh, the sister and Falcon, or Falcon and his sister, I should have said. But they leave. No video games. They close the door. The dude is like 3.
That's a dude?
2.
That was a girl.
I'm telling you, I'm lost during the episode. Usually I have everything memorized. I don't know. I'm not saying it was a bad episode. I'm just saying like it was kind of forgettable. Nothing really happened. But one of the kids is like 3, 2, 1, and they just sprint.
Run.
I'm assuming to the TV and the PlayStation or whatever. But it's like, as I mentioned when we were watching,
just like,
they could easily still be on the patio.
I mean,
and
they
hear them run.
But they straight up told them, yes, video games.
Yeah, so
like,
why are they like
sneaky? I don't know.
Sneaking around, but also failing at being sneaky? You wait 3 seconds and then run?
They don't want to waste a minute.
Maybe if you want to wait, I don't know why you would have to wait. They know you're in the house.
Yeah.
But, alright, say you want to wait. Maybe tiptoe to where you want to go?
Or like,
until you know they're gone?
See that they're gone?
It's like, what are these kids doing? I feel bad for them. Yeah, the mom's working all the... These kids are stupid. They're not even smart enough to go behind her back and do stuff and play video games.
They don't have to try, that's all.
Oh my god. They'll never catch us sprinting over to the TV when they just walked out the door. Huh? So what do you think about these flag smashers?
They were mentioned once before the whole thing, and then I realized that was them. What was their thing? That they just don't want the whole border system?
They want to go back to the blip.
Oh,
and they don't want borders.
But, like, they just want less people? Like, less populated? Or
maybe
certain people they don't want?
Yeah, maybe.
Just no borders? What, do the borders apply to all superheroes or just everybody? Or what?
No, I think they're just talking about in general. Like, They don't want countries. They just want...
Oh, like everybody united.
Yeah, it's just the world.
Oh, okay. I don't know, but they're like... I was confused. Like, what's the whole mask thing? I thought at first, because I forgot that I guess they're like, ooh, I don't know, are they bad people? Yeah, right?
Yeah, probably.
Because it reminded me of in Pretty Little Liars. Like, they like, I guess, hired a bunch of people to like wear like the suits. I guess everybody looks the same, so that when like they're trying to like look for the actual person,
they can't tell.
Yeah, like everybody shows up in the park, and then like you don't know which one's which. Some people attack them to like distract. You're like,
they did that,
and then the other one like walks away.
They did that in Joker too. Remember?
Oh, I think when
he's running from the cops, and then on the subway and just puts on a mask.
Oh yeah, the clown. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
I like that.
I think that's what they're doing too.
But like one of them jumped out of the bank, right? Like took something, or what was that?
I think they stole money.
Because I was confused at some points because I thought the same person was this person, but then it's obviously everyone's wearing the mask. But some of them were like undercover, huh?
This show, it's only been one episode and stuff, and it's only happened a couple times. It's not a huge deal. But it's like they didn't really set up the new characters very well.
Oh yeah,
so
like
they kind of just all like blended together. Like at the beginning when Sam is talking to that, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't know his name. I don't know anything about him.
What boy?
This Asian dude.
Oh, he's Asian, my bad.
When they were talking about when we first learned about the Flag Smashers, okay, they're talking about him. Was his name Ryan?
I don't know.
I don't know. But that guy, later on, when he texts Sam a picture of him,
oh yeah,
I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Oh really? You forgot about?
Yeah, I forgot about. I'm like, who is this? And then I didn't even recognize him during that scene with the Flag Smashers.
I didn't at first until he got beat up. Then I saw like his face. But at first I thought like it was just some like the people in the group or whatever starting to do whatever. Like, oh, what are we supposed to do? Like they're new to the group or something. But
I thought that was just like a random dude. And then it's like, oh, apparently it's this guy that Sam was talking to. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Episode you gotta watch again.
Yeah.
I'm sure the second time we'll like see things we didn't see.
Yeah.
This is also the first time you watch it with me.
Yeah, that should be important to note. Usually during this, I
watch at home
when we record the podcast. We've only done like 4 so far, but in the previous ones, I watched it the night it came out, and then like I think a second time in the morning, and then watch it a third time with you, and then I have my notes and stuff. I have my thoughts. This time was the first time I've only seen it once so far.
Like 30 minutes.
So I don't have fully formed thoughts and shit.
Yeah. We can add to it next time.
Yeah. But then also is there going to be much to really add? It's like not a ton of stuff happened. Like you got Sam and his sister trying to get the loan, but couldn't.
Yeah.
You got Bucky wanting to tell the dude, hey, I killed your son. And then the Flag Smasher thing. And then new Cap. And that's pretty much it. Okay, hold on. There was something huge that happened.
He didn't pay for his meal.
Boom. You looking for this?
Oh, yeah.
War Machine's in the show. What the fuck?
Probably for just this episode.
I had no idea. Yeah, probably. Maybe he'll show up like one more time. Maybe. But I had no idea. I thought we weren't going to see him until he had a show like, I don't know, like a year and a half from now.
Oh.
So that was very surprising.
Never know. Agatha
very, very pleased with that. Thank you very much. I hope all the shows have this. Just give me like, again, I ranted about this a few weeks ago, but like, this universe of superheroes is so fucking big that like, I don't think you could just do, oh, here's a show and there's only one hero here and that's it. You can't do that anymore. There's so many characters. It's like a constant question now where it's like, really?
Where are they at?
Nobody, we saw like what?
Nobody else go to their
like
funeral?
100, maybe 250 people helping out in Endgame, and literally none of them could help. There's one hero out with this one situation.
To like see the shield go up, maybe because they know he's not dead.
Yeah.
But it was just War Machine. Yeah. No other heroes.
Yeah.
To see that.
So, I mean, seeing War Machine gives me hope that they're gonna do this right. But I just hope it's not like...
Maybe like every now and then we'll like see.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like big things. It could just be... I could just have like War Machine type cameos in these shows. And that's good enough for me. I don't need a big old thing. I don't need War Machine coming back to help in the final fight and stuff. Just like hey, let me talk for 2 minutes and I'm out. I hope all these shows have that.
Or like a little call.
Because that'd be a lot better.
Maybe they'll FaceTime Captain Marvel in space.
Because without all these cameos and stuff, I feel like it would be like the movies. But it's like, you just like everything, you get a lot of I'm not going to go into it a lot because I ranted about it already. But it's like, you're getting a lot of stuff to watch, but like, they kind of connect, but not really. They're really their own thing, which is good in a lot of places, but when it's like stuff like this where it's like, really? You have all these friends and literally none of them can help you with this very dangerous threat?
You have a phone that doesn't have 10 numbers in it?
Yeah, Bucky, get some fucking friends.
Poor Bucky.
You don't even...
If she knew... Wait, she knows his situation, right? That she's like, you're 100 years old. Why isn't she surprised that he doesn't have friends? That they're probably dead 100 years old.
I think her point was like, make friends now.
Oh.
That's the problem, because he doesn't have any contacts now. Yeah.
Oh, like 100 years of... Well, he wasn't alive for all of them, right?
Yeah.
But 100 years of experience.
It is kind of a shady thing still to do, where it's like, you don't have any friends, you fucking loser. It's very weird for a therapist to do.
Like, in the end, it worked. Had him, like, talk and stuff. At least a little bit.
I guess so.
But the way she went about it, it was a little bitchy.
For the people who go to therapists and stuff, I'm curious to see if I see anything from them regarding how that therapist acted. Because even though it did help him in the end, she was kind of rude to him.
Yeah, I wouldn't want my...
It was very tough love.
But he like has to have her, right? It's not like he's like...
Yeah.
It's a requirement.
Yeah, it's very...
She could just like do whatever she wants. Like, oh, you're required to see me anyway, so...
It's a very mixed thing, but yeah. Because you know how some people are like... very focused about how certain things are portrayed. Because it could have an impact. I wonder how people are like kind of painting therapists in
even
a bad
Bucky
light.
said it though. He's like, oh, the cliche notebook thing. And like,
yeah, I hope at some point she gets redeemed. Because then it's like, she's just a bad therapist.
Maybe we'll see her background. She lost.
Maybe she's a missing person.
Maybe undercover.
Bucky killed her. Spoiler.
He killed her.
How
daughter.
do I amend her being a bitch to me? I'll kill her. That's the lesson I'm supposed to learn.
She's going to be on his list and he will realize until later. I'm like, I have one last person on my list. You.
Dun, dun, dun. What do you think of the new Cap?
He's alright. A little nerd ass boy. We haven't seen him talk, right? He's just like,
Yeah, he was just standing there.
And with a mask, can't really see what he looks like. But...
Yeah. I'm excited for what's going to happen, though. I really do. I don't want him to be a bad guy. Because I think it's way more interesting if, like, he's a good dude.
He's going to get killed.
And then Falcon's going to have to struggle with that fact where he's like, he's not a bad guy, but also he's not Cap. But then also, I did give up the shit. It's a very interesting dynamic that they're setting up here.
Won't the audience, like, in the show... I mean, like, yeah.
The
like,
people
in the show, yeah. Won't they, like, be like, hey, he just died while you're replacing him?
Yeah, that's... The poster that I pointed out during the credits, Cap is back.
Oh,
I don't know if they're like gonna portray it as in literally.
Oh,
Steve Rogers is back.
What he looks like, right?
Yeah. What if he just doesn't take off the mask?
But then, like, oh, true. So maybe that whole Shield thing wasn't in the news that he like disappeared.
But then also in the news, guy said we need a new hero.
Oh yeah.
But they also didn't say the guy's name, so.
He didn't say Captain America?
I'm getting really excited now. Because they're setting up some interesting dynamics.
What if they have, like, the Marvel fan? Do they ever have, like, the fandom, like, in the show?
The fandom in the show?
Like, people that are, like, Marvel fans. Or not Marvel fans, superhero fans that are in the show?
That's who Ms. Marvel's going to be.
Oh, really?
That I told you about a couple weeks ago. The
Muslim
probably, teenage girl.
They're going to have probably, like, people like, oh, like, this is, like, I'm offended. Offended by it. They're going to cancel Captain America.
I think that...
Right? That'd be perfect.
I think.
This time.
Thank God it was Steve Rogers who was Captain America.
Why?
Because it was in the 40s. What if they brought another dude who was frozen? Huge racist. Huge sexist. You know what I mean? He could
have been a Nazi,
just a
basically.
Exactly. He could have been a Nazi.
That's true.
They really struck gold.
Yeah.
By getting Captain America, who Steve Rogers is like one
Brooklyn.
of the person worthy of wielding the hammer. One of the best people in the universe. True. They were very lucky.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Hey, Spidey, I'm from Brooklyn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's what Miss Marvel's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a fun show because she's a massive fan of him.
It's gonna be that cliche character, like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm part of Marvel. Right?
I'm gonna spoil the very start of the Avengers video game.
Oh yeah. But
it's like the story goes somewhere else. It's like the basic. You already know going in what happens. But it's like there's like an Avengers event. I'm not gonna go into super details. Avengers event. This girl, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, huge superhero fan. She goes to this event, meets all the heroes, fangirling out. It's very fun. Something bad happens. Explosion, boom. She gets powers.
Oh.
And then boom, now she joins the Avengers.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I hope they go like that in the show.
Cool. She's at a little fan event, con.
What if there's like a Comic Con for superheroes?
And then her actual, whatever she's dressed as, ends up being her outfit or whatever.
Yeah,
her costume.
like
even though she'd probably be
cosplaying. With the Halloween episode.
Oh,
where she's like, ooh, I'm a fortune teller, but she was a witch.
Oh, yeah.
And then she ended up being a witch.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Because she's supposed to, like, she's inspired by Captain Marvel. So if she's, like, wearing a t-shirt or whatever. Yeah. And then she's like, oh, this is my outfit now.
A t-shirt. She's like, I'm that bitch.
And then I think she's appearing in the next Captain Marvel movie, so it could be like, hey, you need a sidekick? No, bitch. I'm the most powerful hero on the team. No, I don't. I don't need help unless I just destroyed Thanos' ship and I need to take this gauntlet somewhere. Then I need every other woman to help me out. That's when I need help. But normally, no.
The Asian girl gives me Captain Marvel vibes. Just like, I don't go fuck.
So, can she read minds?
Oh yeah, she's like, I can read minds. And she was getting every spot kind of right.
Yeah.
Of like, where to hit.
She's going to end up being a superhero. Or a villain.
Maybe she'll be in that explosion.
Maybe that's why... Never mind.
She knows. She seems like she knows more than she says.
Yeah.
About everything. Mind reader. How would she know that how the dad feels about his son? She probably reads his mind while he's there in the bar drinking, thinking his thoughts through.
Or she'll just listen to him talk about it earlier in the day. Let me just repeat what I heard.
Who says their feelings out loud?
Losers. Am I right?
Yeah, she thinks. That's why she's like, so she's a bartender. She has to know her customers and like, ooh, how they're feeling. Hey, you seem a little down. Ooh, it's because she reads their minds. And boop, boop, boop.
So what do you think is going on with this boat?
Boat?
Like, what's going to happen with it?
Maybe they'll renovate it, but like, what's the...
That's exactly what I'm thinking. What is the point of us watching this happen?
Well, like,
because there's got to be a point
moment,
to it.
It's because she doesn't have money and like she could use it, rent it every now and then. Or,
what if she rents it to Mephisto?
What? The guy that went missing? He went missing on a boat, and that boat sank, and that's her boat. I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though. It's like, what's the point of us watching this happen? Because it's got to be more than just, the boat's paid off now.
Like, it's just like, because it's a family thing.
Does that really matter to us?
At the moment, maybe just because that's the only thing that's a part of the family. But then maybe he'll realize, oh, I'm a legacy of the family. We've got to keep the family legacy, and then do all this thing. I don't know.
I didn't think about that dynamic until we're talking about it, but I fucking love it. What? Eventually, Sam is going to want to be Captain America. He's going to want the shield back at some point, but he willingly gave it up. The theories going around, going into the
it.
show, were that, like, maybe the government was going to order him because he didn't sign the accords. And they're like, oh, that shield is government property, so they order him to give it up.
Well, like, they did seem like they kind of had to convince him, no, or no?
No, it seemed like when he was talking to War Machine, he's like...
It's the right decision. Oh, yeah. But, like,
maybe
like if he did,
like
they wouldn't have let him either way. Because they wanted it. Huh?
Yeah, but, like,
but,
that
like, he
also...
made it seem like it's his choice. Maybe they like, kind of talked him out of it. Like, oh, you wouldn't want to do that to Captain America. Then they replace him. Never mind.
Right. They probably convinced him, but I think, like, deep down, he did want to give it up. Mm-hmm. So, it's going to be a weird dynamic. Yeah. Because you can't just...
steal it back.
Even if the government is just flat out racist and they didn't want a black Captain America, he still gave it up. So it's like, how can you come back and claim ownership when you gave it up? You know what I mean? Like, how are you upset that we replaced you when you didn't even want to be Captain America? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic. I didn't foresee this at all, of him just willingly giving it up and then wanting it back. Because that puts him in a tough spot. And it's going to be even more interesting if the new Captain America is a really nice guy. Then it's like...
he's going to be an asshole.
Yeah, he's going to kind of be an asshole because he's like... Because it's basically just like... It's going to be like a child. It's like, oh, here, have this toy. And the other kid's like, oh my God, thank you so much. You're my best friend. I love this toy. And then later, the kid comes and snatches the toy. Mm-hmm. And then the other kid's like, you gave this to me. What happened? He's like, I want it now. It's like, what?
I wonder if
they're setting up that dynamic. I like it.
I wonder if he's like has any war experience or military experience. Who? The guy that's captain, because he has to have some.
I'm thinking he is. I think they just plucked him. Like, remember in the Hulk movie where when Ross was chasing Bruce, I think he just got I'm forgetting the dude's name, but plucked him from whatever position he was in, and he's like, hey, you're good. You want to test this new shit I'm working on? And the guy's like, hell yeah. I think that's what's going to happen. But it'd be even better if it was just a random dude. I want him to be as inexperienced and out of his element. Exactly. Yeah. Out of his element as possible. Because if they're doing this where he's going to give it up and then want it back, you gotta... That's kind of like the Wanda thing where it's like, yeah, it fucking sucks she went through that, but she also took an entire town hostage. It's a very gray area to be in. It's interesting. I like it. I don't know how they're going to fix that. Unless, I don't know, the easy fix would make the new Captain America a bad guy, so it's like, oh, he has to take it back no matter what.
Be like, thank you for saving us here. You deserve this. You're going to be the new Captain America.
But then also it's kind of like, do you agree that it'd be kind of generic to do that? Like, oh, new Captain America's bad. So Sam's like, oh, I didn't want to be Cap, but now I got to be Cap. So I got to take it back because this guy's bad.
Like, ooh, we all have a Captain America in us or something. Yeah. I don't know. Like, we all have to protect our whatever, like he did. I don't know. Some cheese. What if he
I don't want it to be
back?
Cheesy though. I want that dynamic to happen where it's like,
what if
he's like, I got a family. I'm just. What if it's really the thing they did with Iron Man 3, where it's like the new Cap is just an actor. He's like, I'm just here to feed my family, dude. I'm just playing the part.
I think
I don't even go into battles. They do the battles. They just say I go in. They record me going into battle, but I never go in there. You know what I mean? And then Falcon's like, what the fuck? I did not foresee this first episode having Falcon and Bucky
not
completely apart.
Yeah.
I didn't.
That's cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
But like for Falcon, the title is a Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You would expect there's 6 episodes. You would think at some point in the first episode they get together, but they don't.
Maybe next one, or like
probably
giving
the
them
next
time
one.
to have their own stories and then meet up somehow. I wonder how they'll like run into each other. I guess.
Yeah.
Are they like friends?
Not really.
They're just like
they
only
were
thing
both
they have
friends
together
of Cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe
it makes
if they have
sense why
a funeral,
they're not friends.
if he's actually dead, they'll go to it and then they'll see each other and it's like, oh my god.
Maybe.
Love at first sight.
I really do feel like he's not dead. I think they left it open-ended for a purpose. I think he might show up at the end of the show. Probably not going to fight or anything, but like when Sam's like at his lowest, he's like,
I told you that was yours. Or something.
Yeah, like that. He's like, I don't know if I should actually go back and get the shield. Makes it even more interesting because he gave it up. It's like, I did give it up, but it's like, oh, I got to get it back, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then Cap's like,
maybe at the very end.
So I'm the one who told you. Here, it's you. It's always been you.
What if it was that last dying words on his deathbed, just like Peggy was? Peggy's actually right there next to him.
I kind of feel bad. Not bad. I kind of feel weird. It's strange. Because it's like, Cap gave you the shield and said it's yours. And then he's like, nah.
Like, I can't replace my boo.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Again, like, if he didn't actually give him the shield, it'd be different. But he literally gave him it's yours. Take it. You're Captain America. But I don't know. I get where he's coming from, but it's like, because that was a big moment in the movie. Feels like somebody else's. It's not. It's yours.
But he gets to decide.
And then Sam was like, I'll do my best. It seems like he accepted the shield to me. And now he's like, nah, man.
Do that.
And then later on in the show, I guess I gotta get the shield back. Well, yeah, he fucking gave it to you. It's been yours.
Like, it takes time. He's like still grieving the whole, oh my god. I'm not like, identity crisis. Who am I? Do I really want to be the face of America? That's fucking racist as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it makes sense, but it's like kind of, I don't know.
What if, in the end, maybe like when he like finally accepts the shield and he's all like, ooh, like maybe save the world, whatever. And there's like a bunch of like people like, yeah, like they're finally kind of like, oh yeah. Everybody knows his name. You don't have to kind of be like, oh, you're from,
Don't you want to go where
there's an old man in the crowd.
What's up?
There's an old man in the crowd.
Is it Cap or no?
Sees him. And then he's like kind of like proud of him, like, I told you. Or whatever. Next to him is Peggy. Yeah.
I'm from an alternate universe.
What do you mean? She could pretend she died.
What do you mean?
Pretend she died. Just so he wouldn't
so we got with two Peggys?
Just one?
No, it'd be two. Because remember he went back in time and lived a life?
Yeah.
And then came back to this timeline.
No, he didn't come back. It's the same timeline.
No, it's not. Oh, okay. Let's finish this podcast off strong. Let's have the time travel discussion. I don't want to say argument because I don't know if it's going to get that heated. Maybe it will. Okay. Let's get into this if we're getting into this. So you're saying right now that Captain America at the end of Endgame went back in time in that same timeline to live with Peggy and live through that time up to give the shield to Sam.
Yes.
How is that possible?
What do you mean?
How? Explain yourself. America,
he
explain.
Went back, put all the gems in the same thing.
In the same timeline?
Yeah.
Because
it's like you just went back to put them back where they were, so nothing changed. The only thing that's different is that they're together, but like that, we assume like that happened since the beginning. Because there's always like a version of him that goes back, and then it's like, ooh, every time like since Captain America was like, ooh, frozen and all that, there was the other version of him that's always growing with Peggy and all that. But then like he obviously told him like, hey, there's a version of me here that is doesn't know like that I went back and all that stuff. So you're gonna have to pretend like, ooh,
so you've lived a happy life. Loop.
I guess I don't know what that is.
Where it's like everything that's happened has always been, and everything that will happen will always be. Right?
Yeah. Well, in that time.
It's like, oh, when Tony snaps, it's like, oh, he always snapped.
Well, in that timeline, yeah. I guess, yeah.
Okay. This is exciting. You know time travel is my thing. Okay. So if it's a causal loop, right? The thing about that, if it's a loop, is that it doesn't necessarily have a beginning or an end, right? It just keeps going.
Yeah, like the older version goes back and then the new version.
So what you're saying is that there were always two Caps, and we just didn't see one of them.
Yeah, like one's the older version and then the other one's the newer version.
Yeah, and they're going along the same path.
Like in the movie, last movie we watched in theaters. Tenet? Like that, pretty much.
Oh.
How they saw each other but at different times, but then later on he's gonna meet the younger version of that one because he was on a different age, I guess. Maybe that's different timelines though. But it's the same, everything that has happened will happen. It's just they were on different points of their version, I guess.
Let me just destroy you with facts and logic.
This is a movie.
Have you seen the memes Ben Shapiro? You've seen the Ben Shapiro memes, right? Where it's facts don't have feelings and stuff like that. He's funny. It doesn't matter.
It's funny.
It was a joke. Probably not a good one. Okay. First of all, I want to make it clear that what I'm saying is I don't think what you're saying is true, but I'm also not saying that I dislike it. I like that form of time travel and stuff. So I'm not coming with malicious intent with this. If what you're saying is true, then I'd be like, okay, cool. But I don't think it is. Okay, so in Endgame, Bruce almost says right to the audience, because he's looking at the camera, he's like, you cannot change the past. Because the past, if you go to the past, then your present becomes your past. Yeah. Right? And you can't change the past because that would change your future, and you can't change your future because it's your past now. Because it already happened, right? You can't. Does that make sense?
I thought that meant I don't know. That okay, your past is now your future, or what did you say? That first part?
It's probably not a direct quote, but it's all right, your present becomes your past. Because you're going back to the past, that becomes your future.
Isn't it your past, though? Because it's in the past? Or
no? No, because you're going to it.
Oh.
Right? But then the present day time now becomes your past.
Yeah. So
which that can't be changed now by your new future. What that means is you can't go back in time, at least from their time travel thing. You can't go back in time, change something, because that could change something in the present day which you left. And you can't change the time from which you left, because you were there and it already happened. So you can't actively change what happened in present day.
Yeah, actually change it, or how do you mean?
Just alter it in any way. Because that would change what happens in the present, which is their past. Right? So you can't go back to the past and change something, because that would change the present. And you
even
can't do
the stones and everything?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Because you talk to the woman and then this happened, the Loki thing happened, and that stuff happened.
Alright, let me break this down.
Because then that probably always happened, right? Because Loki's gonna do some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that always happened, and that's technically the past. Nothing changed, because then we see in the future nothing was really changed.
I don't think they're doing the always has been thing. I think, because they've mentioned it before, they've established it in Doctor Strange. The next Doctor Strange is it's literally in the title. They mentioned it in the Spider-Man movie. They're introducing the multiverse, which is a different type of thing. Alternate universes, timelines, stuff like that. Infinite possibilities. So I think what they're doing with the time travel is, when they're okay, this is what we're doing. The time heist. We're going back in time, getting the stones. I think once they go back in time they didn't go to their literal past. I think what they did was go to a very, very, very similar timeline that just so happened to be at an earlier point in time. You know, because they got the GPS things, they set it to that time period.
But it was a different universe?
It was a different universe and timeline.
Where the same thing happened?
That's very, very similar. Because you know how, like, infinite timelines, so, like, a couple timelines could be very fucking similar, where there's, like, almost no change. So they went to that.
Did they say that? I thought it was just different timeline. Because she, like, when she explained it, the woman, the bald lady.
Yeah, the ancient one.
She was like, oh yeah, but like you would be disrupting our timeline. And then that's when they're like, oh, but what if we put everything back where it was exactly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think what they were talking about there was branch timelines.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you do a change and that splits off into something else.
Yeah.
So I think at that moment she was specifically talking about the stones. Right? Because they're so important and that's what she's supposed to protect.
Yeah.
She's like, if you remove one of the stones, my timeline could potentially be ruined. And I can't take that risk.
Yeah.
But in that scene, like Bruce and her are talking, when they talk about a timeline, they like, she either says her timeline or they say his timeline. So it's like right there they establish that they're from different timelines.
Yeah, not different universes though.
What do you mean? I think the two terms are like interchangeable.
Like completely different universe? Or just a different like way things happened? Or is that the same
I think both. Yeah, I think yeah. I
So
think you could say different timelines, different universe.
Since it's not the same timeline, how do we see him when he's older there, right there sitting?
Because he used the GPS to get back.
But why would he choose the old age to do it?
The old age? What do you mean?
Like him being old? Why not come back?
Because I think he went back in time.
And why take that?
Return the stones. Lived with Peggy. Lived an entire life with her. And then maybe she died. And then he came back to his original timeline. Because the theme that they kept on throwing in your face was, you can't change the past.
So change it now?
Exactly. So even when the team went back in time and got the stones, them just doing that, them existing in the past, two versions of themselves living in the past, I think that's change just by itself. But because you can't change the past, so that makes me think from the moment they went back in time, they're in a different timeline. That's just very similar to theirs.
But wouldn't that be changing that timeline?
No, because I think when,
like the other
I don't know if they like GPS to that time, it's for that timeline, that's not the past. For them, that's the present. And you could change the present. You know what I mean?
But wouldn't that change that timeline's future? Based on that, because that's the past and the future.
Yeah, but I think that would like create branches.
Yeah.
Of like, ooh, look, he has.
So it's fine if they ruin that universe or what?
Yeah, but like because our heroes are heroes, they're like they want to save as many people and help as many people as they can, including other timelines. So they go back and return the stones. But really, they didn't really have to do it if they didn't want to. They could just, finesse those stones and then just kept those in their universe if they really wanted to. And it wouldn't change their universe at all.
Why? It was so similar.
Because you can't change the past. Because if you could, think about it. The moment they took the stone, that when they go back to the present would be different. Because the stones are removed. But it's the same thing. Because they can't change the past. The stones that they have aren't the stones from their past.
From a different universe?
Yeah. Because you know what like Back to the Future where it's like, when they're in the past and they change something and then Marty starts disappearing. They didn't have that in Endgame. When they had the stones.
Wasn't that... Remember the professor that was like, oh, there's a paradox in it because this couldn't happen because... Something. Is that what you're talking about? It couldn't be because Captain America...
It couldn't be because Captain America would be.
Like, I don't remember. in Back to the Future, isn't there a paradox? So like, ooh, this couldn't happen because this or something. Like something like impossible, I guess, because there's like, I guess maybe the branches. Is that what you mean? Or no?
Impossible. What do you mean?
Do you remember that class I took, philosophy, and he explained the whole timeline thing?
Oh yeah. Just by itself, Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had to take creative liberties because it's a movie. Mm-hmm. Literally, if their time travel existed, it wouldn't work out that way. If they did go back to the past, again, just my belief, the very fact they're in the past is change enough that they would alter their timeline. But let's say they had to do something, right? Mm-hmm. The moment Marty did something to where he starts disappearing, and he's like, I can't remember my brother's face. He wouldn't even be able to do those things because he would just cease to exist. He wouldn't even be able to try to fix the mistake or whatever because he would just be gone.
But since whatever, like everything he did there, that's what happened in the future, right? Or like that's what happened the whole time because he went back?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he was named that and all that stuff?
Yeah.
But that's like impossible, right?
Yeah, that's impossible. If time travel and
they mentioned that in the movie, huh?
If you were able to change the past, like you couldn't, it's just like, it's not logistically possible to do something like that. It's a grandfather's paradox. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So but because it's a movie, you gotta like, oh, there's a mistake. Oh, he's almost not gonna exist. They gotta fix it. Oh, they fixed it. He exists once again. You wouldn't be able to do that. He'd just blip out.
So what if Captain and Peggy, they do meet, like when he went back, and then they're just like incognito, pretty basically like never existed but still living together.
Yeah,
don't change anything. Could that just like make it so that there's no change? Like they probably never had kids or anything. It was just like
I understand where you're coming from, but like, just my belief is that they're not working with one singular timeline. If they were, they could do that, I guess. But I just don't think that's the case because they introduced the multiverse and stuff, and it'd be weird to be like, oh, we're setting up the multiverse and stuff, infinite possibilities and timelines and stuff. But then also, Endgame, our biggest movie yet, has time travel. We're not doing any multiverse stuff. We're just dealing with one timeline. It's a little weird. It'd also be very confusing to a lot of people if they did that timeline like that, time travel like that, but then like, you know, a couple years later now, oh, Doctor Strange, when they go to multiple realities. You know what I mean? So I think that time travel is dealing with just alternate timelines and stuff. Because again, like, nothing changed when they took out the stone. But like, if they took the stone, that's changing the past, right? Mm-hmm. But then also, I guess the counter could be like, oh, if it's a loop, then like, Steve always returned the stones and stuff. But then that would mean that, like when Cap went back with Peggy and stuff, the problem with the loop type thing is like it removes free will. Because if it's an always has been type of thing, then you're not really making a choice to do it. Because it's always happened. Like if this is a loop and Cap has always done what he's done, then when we see Cap go back in time and go with Peggy, that's not the first time he's done it, and that's not the last time he's done it.
His timeline is, no?
It is. Or, no, because what you're saying, if it's a loop, then no. Then that's not the first time he's doing it. It's always happened. If he was living his life...
Yeah, in like a different version of
after getting out of the ice, and there's always been like a second old Cap living with Peggy, then that choice has already been made before he makes it. Right? So, like, when he goes back with Peggy, it's not really a choice. Because he had already done that. And he just keeps doing that, if it's a loop.
Like, after the first time, no?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's my problem with it. Like, the only way it would be, like, an actual choice would be if if the timeline we're watching is the very first time the loop began occurring, before it actually became a loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the events were folding in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue there is, I think the second Captain America movie, they established that Peggy married somebody while Steve was frozen. So if we're watching the first time the loop going around, mm-hmm. Steve cannot have been that husband.
But it could have been like, she just put random, like a fake photo, fake family, so that the real one wouldn't know that he had gone back, and then it wouldn't affect his choice of doing that, no?
I mean, I can't really argue that. That's possible, but I don't know. I don't buy it.
Oh, like, must have married a nice man. Like, yes, he's wonderful. She, like, can't tell him about it.
Because then, okay, what about the stones then?
Well,
are those in alternate timelines? Or did they literally take them from their timeline?
Same one, no. They just had to bring them back at the exact same point.
How is that possible?
I don't know. They just, it's a movie. I don't know. They should have, like, showed him, like, actually, like, coming out of the machine as an old man.
Oh my god, I've been thinking that for years now.
Because then it's like, why
that's what causes all these problems. If whoever made the decision, they're like, oh, we want this dramatic reveal where he's on that bench. If they just had him come back in the machine, but as an old man, everybody watching would be like, oh, he did the exact same thing they did during the time heist, which was go to different timelines and do stuff.
But why would he come back old?
Because he lived that time.
But, like, why come that specific age?
What do you mean specific age?
Like, he's obviously, like, giving the shield, and he's, like, done with it. But, like, since he's that old, wouldn't he have been done with it, like, a couple of years back? Or, like, when he was a little younger?
Yeah, but he could have kept it while he was just living his life with Peggy.
Yeah, but then why wouldn't he, like, from that age, whatever age, go to that timeline and, like, give it to him?
Because what if they lived until they were old?
They probably could still, but he doesn't need the shield the whole time. Maybe he's just, like, living with her, right?
Maybe he was running out of those little things that they had. Where he's like, he can't, like, hop from the reality he's in to give the shield to Sam, and then hop back, and then hop back.
Oh, because in the past, huh?
Yeah.
I could steal 2 more from her. Yeah. He knows where to get them.
But yeah, I don't know. You can't change the past. So it's like, to me, when you're doing that, you can't even touch the past.
Then why'd they touch a stone?
They took him from an alternate timeline.
How do you know?
Because they told us that they can't change the past. No matter what. It's like, because then it's like, okay, Loki escaped, right? Mm-hmm. Like, right, so, okay. So, if we're not dealing with alternate timelines, the Thanos that came from 2014, the Thanos and Gamora, and Nebula, all of them, when they came to 2023, all right, if we're dealing with one timeline, and then they got snapped, right? At least Thanos did. That would mean, if we're in one timeline, that essentially just, like, erases Infinity War. Because he was no longer there to do it. There was no snap, there was none of that then. Because he went from 2014 to 2023. Right? So that would erase Infinity War. But then also, okay, if it erases Infinity War, why is Endgame happening? Why do they need to go back and get the stones if Thanos... You see what I mean? If it's a loop, then how are they fixing Thanos' thing if he was never there to do it to begin with? You know what I mean? And then it's like, okay, so did Loki just not get killed by Thanos? Because first of all, Infinity War is erased. Second of all, he escaped.
Loki?
Yeah, Loki.
When he, like, got the thing?
Yeah. The Tesseract. And then just, whoop, I'm out.
And that's a different timeline, right?
Yeah, I think all of it's a different timeline. That's why. Because if it's a single timeline, they make, like, many choices. Not choices. Well, they do that. but they make many changes to past movies.
Mm.
Like, because all of a sudden, okay, so now you're telling me at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy, he got knocked out by War Machine?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, but then at the beginning of that movie, right when he gets the stone, remember the beginning of the movie, right? Because he's dancing and stuff, and then he pulls out the orb thing, and he's like, whoa. And then the bad guys instantly show up, and like, because they're looking for it too. If he gets knocked out, the bad guys were also looking for that orb. So now do the bad guys get the orb now? Does Guardians of the Galaxy even happen? And then also, okay, in Guardians, they meet Gamora. If Gamora's with Thanos and they go to 2023,
yeah, they never meet her.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? If it's a single timeline. And it's like, I guess you can make all these changes. I wouldn't mind it. But like, there's so many people that watch these movies, and most of them aren't like people like me who fucking memorize everything. They're just going there, every couple months they watch a movie. And then now you're going to tell them, oh yeah, most of the movies that you've been watching for the past decade,
erased.
Yeah, some are erased, some are like actually changed. Very much changed. So have fun with that. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh fuck. I just think the single timeline thing is just like too complicated and confusing. And then plus, yeah, they're establishing the multiverse, so it'd be weird to be like, okay, infinite possibilities. But Endgame, we're just dealing with one that changes the entire timeline. And now we're going to be like infinite possibilities. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then also, on a more petty note, if Captain America did actually go back in his literal timeline in the past and then live with Peggy, he just lets Bucky still get captured and then become the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, everything else happened the same.
But he went back and lived with Peggy. He didn't do that.
No.
So that's a question I'm like, yeah. There's so many questions that arise. Right? And then also, when Bruce comes and talks to the Ancient One, she, like, first of all, she's surprised he's there. Second of all, she doesn't want to give up the stone. If it already happened and stuff, she'd just be like, okay, yeah. Because she's supposed to see into the future, at least until she dies. So wouldn't she have already known that she was going to talk to Bruce? You know what I mean? Yeah. You excited about next week?
I was just about to ask, what do you think is going to happen next week? We meet the guy? Captain.
I hope so, and I hope he's a nice guy. I hope he's the nicest guy on
I hope he pretends to be nice to the public, but then he's an asshole. Just like, business guy, like, okay, pay me my money. Probably not.
Yeah.
Because then we were trying to...
what's that, ma'am? You want me to sign your baby? Absolutely. Close the door. I fucking hate babies. They smell.
He looks like a little nerd, to be honest. Maybe he's like a little Captain America fan. He's like, ooh, I'm finally going to become...
I hope he's a nice guy. It'd be so fun.
I'm a really nice guy.
Was that
yeah. Steve or not?
Steve?
Steve something. Says that a lot.
Oh.
I'm a really nice guy.
What's he doing now?
Among Us. Or streams.
It's March?
I think it's 2021.
March 20. That's without question. I don't even have to mention that. 2021 and March? Who's still playing that?
Everybody.
Yeah? Oh. I guess I'm the weirdo then. Yeah, I think Falcon and Bucky are gonna team up.
Oh.
They could do that. I do wonder if Bucky's gonna be gay.
Gonna be or is?
Either or.
He reveals it to his therapist and she's like, that's what I was looking for.
That's why I was bullying you.
Why are you writing this down?
Oh my god, they're dealing with racism and
homophobia.
I forgot that word for some reason. Yeah, that'd be something. Because it's like they're trying to push a girlfriend on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gay. What are you talking about?
Maybe
Fuck.
that's why he's not interested in her. She's a bitch.
I couldn't talk about it in the 20s. I can't talk about it now in the 20s. You get it? 1920s, 2020s. 100-year-old joke. Yeah, that'd be something. Unless that girl is actually going to be his girlfriend. What do they have in common? I don't fucking know.
Powers. Maybe.
That's going to be
They're
wild.
both stubborn
if they introduce somebody who could read minds.
That would be annoying. I wouldn't want to be with someone that reads my mind 24/7.
That's also Professor X's power.
The wheelchair?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it'd
really?
be like,
All
yeah.
the time?
Yeah, that's one of the things in the movie. We'll watch him soon. But it's like, he used to drive him crazy because he hears everybody's thoughts all the time.
Oh.
Yeah,
you can't,
basically
like,
split.
choose one.
No. He
I
can
just
like
he's
single
an
it out
actor
sometimes.
and split, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I was making the joke where it's like, same character. Hearing voices all the time. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. This was a cool first step. A little confusing, but maybe that's what gets people talking.
Yeah. It was just a little bit uneventful.
Now you can look online and see what other people think.
Yeah. That is a plus to recording it after the first viewing. Because I don't know what anybody else has said it yet. So I am unbiased in my thoughts. Yeah. I think
first impressions.
I think I'm probably gonna read an article where it's like, ooh, Rotten Tomatoes has the audience score very low. Because that's what they did with WandaVision. Because the first couple episodes didn't have much going on. They're like, ooh, it's boring. But I think it might be worse for this show. Because WandaVision was 9 episodes. This one's only 6.
They got jam-packed that shit, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't hate it or dislike it. It's just like uneventful. It's like,
maybe it's just like, we'll see how the second one is. If it's the same, we're like,
I feel like this, if it wasn't 6 episodes, it would be a good idea to, do with WandaVision, do 2 episodes at once.
That's what they did, or what do you mean?
With WandaVision, yeah. Remember they dropped 2 episodes at once? That first night?
Oh, the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like,
nice.
I feel like if this show was longer, more episodes, it'd be a good idea to be like, hey, here's like another piece of it. It's like this first one is like, all right. They haven't even brought back Zemo yet. They haven't really introduced the
people. Right?
Yeah, the Flag Smashers, other than No Borders and stuff.
The sidekick, we kind of need to know more about him, right?
The sidekick.
Whatever his name is.
Oh, I didn't even remember.
Got punched.
Yeah.
He's Asian, by the way, you said?
I think he's Asian.
Okay, maybe they're all related,
maybe Korean or... I don't know.
I didn't even notice. They were
But
just white
that's all I remember about him. If I remember, it could just be a white dude that he was talking. I don't know.
He seems like he's very eager to whatever he does. I don't even know.
Well, if he turns
he's
out to be a
in the
bad guy?
army, right? Oh no! Oh, I just meant Falcon kind of just whatever about him.
You think he's a Skrull? I'm excited now because I'm always on edge. It's like, am I looking at a Skrull right now?
What if he's the top secret person?
The FBI person?
Because he did go undercover for the thing, but he's in the military, huh?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I saw in the beginning.
I'm just agreeing with you because you're saying it, so I assume it's true.
In the beginning, he had a tank, so I thought he was.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
What the?
He was on the floor. He's like,
I feel so bad, but not really. So he was in multiple scenes in this episode, and I don't remember him at all.
He was on the floor, like, be subtle.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it doesn't help him that scene itself, the opening scene, was just confusing too. So I couldn't even remember anybody because I was just like, what is going on? Why are they chasing him? What are they after?
Yeah.
The border? What? Okay.
Racism? Huh?
I just assume it's because of the Accords, but maybe it's something different.
I think the Falcon just powers probably shut off when he passed, right?
Oh.
Or no, I don't know. Actually, maybe it was just on the maps it looked red, and I thought, but he probably just illegal to pass. Yeah. They said, he won't pass it. I guess because he can't, right? It's contract. Right?
Yeah.
I thought literally can't.
That's gonna be interesting. if they're going
they
that
can just,
way,
like-
then it's like
I was gonna say, why don't they just stay out of the borders
They
and then they can just
gotta-
do whatever the fuck they want?
they gotta like introduce a
Clear
few
shit
more
up.
people in a few more places. Because if the Avengers can't just go everywhere and help it, hey, maybe Canada would need a hero then, right?
Oh, true.
Because
What do they do?
they can't just cross borders whenever they want.
Yeah. They need
So-
one in every country or whatever.
Yeah, they need them all
That's
over
what
the
I thought
place,
too.
which is interesting. But it's like
Only America though? Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah.
why they opened it
that's,
to everybody.
that's kind of the problem with these, these American-made shows and stuff, where it's like
Yeah,
things are like
everybody else.
mainly in America, which makes sense. But then when you
But then they do kind of go other places.
involve the entire world, it's like, what?
Yeah.
How is the rest of the world dealing with stuff like this? It's
With
like,
super,
I guess I
villains
would've-
and everything.
maybe I assume that's the Shang-Chi movie coming out in a few months. Cross the fingers it's in a few months. Probably this year. He's, the Chinese representative or something. But then, I don't know. I'm honestly surprised they might be. They didn't confirm it, but they might be dealing with Accords. Because, I thought once Thanos showed up and stuff, they're like, oh, sorry, General Ross, your idea that you're, championing, just forget about it. We need the Avengers. But it's like, apparently they're coming back. So, interesting stuff.
Interessante.
Like, are they going to have Miss Marvel sign them? Like, is Spider-Man going to sign them? Because it's like, if Falcon signs
Fuck
them,
the government.
like, when is Spider-Man turning 18? Is he going to sign them? Why would he want to sign them?
But his identity's been revealed.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll go to another universe where it's not
I
revealed.
think they said this show is taking place 6 months after Endgame, right? Or did I think
Like
I
they
heard
said
6 months at some point.
I don't remember. But yeah,
Which
for
would
sure
make
after.
sense. So it's after
Endgame.
WandaVision, which makes sense because we've seen it, because it kind of, it's not
all
this
the rules and
universe expanding thing.
stuff. Oh, yeah.
Wanda's just kind of chilling right now.
Oh, yeah.
The second Spider-Man movie hasn't happened yet.
Maybe that's why they did the boardy thing then, right? Because they need another hero.
Yeah.
Wanda? Did we see where she went? Or just some...
She's chilling
Nice.
out in some wilderness thing.
Probably another country then.
Yeah, probably.
And that's why they don't want anybody from outside the country. Racism.
Xenophobia. Oh, I got one thing to talk about.
Mhm.
The title
Oh, yeah.
card for this show.
Beautiful.
Why is it so basic? What is this?
Simple.
And it like at the end when they're doing the credits and stuff, they had all these fancy graphics that they
Oh,
usually
yeah.
have. And then it's like, oh, at the end, the Falcon and the Winter
Yeah, I
Soldier.
kind of just didn't even notice.
Yeah, it's very
It just
forgettable.
looked like it was like
It's so
another
weird.
credit.
The entire episode, including the title cards,
Uh-huh.
are like uneventful. It's
Mhm.
very weird.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like it was done on purpose.
Yeah, what if it's like the whole previously on one division? It like progresses, so then it kind of gets a little
More exciting.
maybe like the
Oh,
thing
is that
actually
not what you were
forms.
saying?
Like
What
not
are
the
you
actual
suggesting?
because they don't actually say previously on, but maybe the title card changes in some way.
That'd
like
be a good
ooh,
idea.
his identity right now is kind of like he doesn't
Oh,
know,
it's
but
very
then like
stripped down and
when it-
stuff.
puts it, then like it'll come together. I don't know, but then I don't know if they'll like want to change it every time.
But then again, they did change WandaVision's
Yeah,
thing
like
every
the voice.
episode.
Yeah,
No,
Oh,
but
and the
also
actual
like
thing.
at the end when they're showing like the
yeah, like
very,
they are able to do
very stylized footage of like,
that.
what's it, where it's like, ooh, you're in the
looks like
TV
an
and
old-
you're watching,
Uh-huh.
very
WandaVision.
warped versions of WandaVision.
Yeah.
And then like it always ends
then, like,
going
the
into
office
Vision's
one
eye
and
and
the
stuff.
Oh yeah.
No, not the
Or,
episodes. Like when they're showing the credits, like
Mm.
the footage and stuff. They
Mhm.
change it every episode. I
Mm.
think even like the please stand by thing was always different.
Oh.
So they could. That's a good
Mhm.
idea. I hope they do that. I don't want them to stick with that. The
Mhm.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was very Maybe they did it at the beginning because they were doing that sad opening where Sam is like getting dressed and stuff. And then maybe like, oh, this is a very somber moment, so we have this very basic title. So maybe, okay, I hope so. I hope at the end of the series you get the big boom. You see the logo we saw in the trailer. That looks fucking great. Yeah, I hope that happens. All right, I think that's it. Cap is back. Or he's dead. Or not. Are we going to get that loan approved?
Maybe not, but...
I guess the sister is willing to go to one place and try and get the loan. I think she's just like, fuck it. I don't care if you're trying to help me, Sam. Just forget it. You know, just like, fuck everything. You know what? Legacy,
she said she's been
fuck
trying
that
forever.
Shit. I guess so, but like he just came back, and then you're like,
what's he gonna do?
Like, why is she blaming him? I don't need
no man for money.
Why is she fucking? I don't.
Because he wasn't there.
I guess so, but like now he's back and he wants to help, and I assume if they're 6 months in, if that's correct, like he's been around for a bit. Like I would think, like one of his first things after coming back after the battle was over and all that would be to come back home, be like, hey. What's up? I'm back. Your boy, Sam Wilson. Don't call me Captain America. I'm not Captain America, but I'm back. So he's been with him for a while, I think. Talking to people, you know, he's like, hey, as soon as you give my sister that $100, you know, you'll get the wings or whatever.
Yeah.
And, it's just, it seemed like she was like, this was like the first week that he was back or something. And trying to help. And she's like, what the fuck you here? You're trying to help me. What the fuck? But it's like, you know, it seems like he's been there for a bit. It's very weird.
He got some big thing to
I guess so. Yeah. It's very interesting. How is that going to be resolved? It's like, what am I going to get from that?
I don't know.
All right, you got your loan approved. That's great.
Gets it approved, it'll be like, oh, well, I only got it because of you. Or like, it'll be something.
Yeah.
I don't, she wants to do it on her own.
Right. I don't understand. I don't see any possibility where it's like, oh, it gets approved by Sam, and she's
like, yeah, great. Now I have to pay it off. How am I going to pay it off? Maybe with her boat, it'll be like a cute little
even
thing.
If she is all like, oh, thanks, Sam, then she's fake as fuck.
Yeah, like, help you.
Yeah. It's like you want to fucking berate him while trying to help you. But then when he's actually successful, you're like, oh, well, thank you, Sam. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. So I wonder how that's going to wrap up.
Yeah. Like, what does she want?
Yeah.
It's not very clear.
What's your MO, lady?
Yeah. Like, even if I don't help, what do you want?
Do you want his help or not? Yeah. You showed up there at the place to get the loan with him. Yeah. Like, obviously, you still want the loan, but like...
Even though she's like, I knew it wasn't getting approved.
Yeah. But it's like, if you had absolutely no faith in it, you wouldn't have gone. Especially if you have to work all the time. Why would you waste time doing something?
Instead of making money.
She still wants the loan. And then Sam's like, we'll try somewhere else. She's like, no, what are you trying to prove? I'm just trying to fucking get the money. What are you talking about?
Maybe she'll... I don't know. Because even if he becomes Captain America...
It's very weird because she's like, I don't need your help, Sam. But then she's also like, you weren't here to help.
Maybe she'll have a little breakdown like... it's just been so stressful, and I'm just used to being on my own. I usually don't have anybody to help me.
I get that, but it's also not a very good way to introduce a brand new character. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like going through a breakdown would happen in, like, the middle of the series, where you get to know her a bit, but all I know from her right now is her breakdown. Yeah, she's very rude and cold and ungrateful for what Sam is trying to do for her. That's the only thing I know from her. It's very weird.
To see her, maybe we'll see a little bit of her past and stuff, or like during the blip.
Yeah, I'm sure we will, but it's like weird way to introduce this woman that we're supposed to like. Where she's just every scene is just shitting on Sam.
Yeah,
and he's just trying to help. What? If you don't want his help, just tell him to fuck off. Yeah. Don't like be this wishy-washy thing. That's like half and half, and like, okay, I'll come with you when you try to help, but then also fuck you for trying to help. What? Yeah. It's kind of like the Wanda thing, but not. It's like, yeah, I get why you had to be on your own, but then obviously this dude's trying to help, and sometimes you let him help, but other times you don't want. It's weird. Make up your mind. I seriously would feel better if she was on either side of the fence. She's just sitting on the fence. Like, if she was like, fuck off, I don't want you in my life. Okay. I can understand that. If she's like, okay, I'll take your help, Sam. I understand that. But this, having both, it's weird. You can't have both.
Do you think the dad died during the blip?
No, because, during it. Okay, I thought for a second you were like, the blip. I'm like, no, he would have came back.
He was
But
gone.
like Monica's mom?
Yeah. Or like, cause she kind of mentioned it, but like, would it have been before? Like, ooh, ever since Dad died, but like...
Yeah, I feel like he died beforehand. After. Maybe even... Because I think they alluded to him, like, leaving for the army to get away from his... So, the dad dying probably happened a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
So, he went to the army and then met Cap, was an Avenger, got snapped 5 years later, comes back. Now we're here. I think that's what happened.
What do you think about how she's like, you don't understand, like, everything she went through, because he kind of has that, like, hero privilege, I guess. He didn't really struggle because of that, but she did.
I mean, I guess so. I would understand from, like, a very surface level standpoint. Of, like, baseline, I would understand that. But then also, that mindset should probably change when he went in and tried to get a loan and she witnessed firsthand that, being an Avenger isn't just, you don't just get a free ride through life when you're an Avenger. Like, he still got to deal with shit. Just probably not as severe often as I do. But he's still, he's still got to pay rent. He's still got to do all this shit. And Tony Stark isn't just like, oh, hey, I know who you are, so all of your debt and shit, don't got to worry about money for the rest of your life. I got it covered.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if it was her mindset, walking out of that office should have just completely changed. It should have been like a bonding experience where, like, oh, first of all, yeah, an Avenger doesn't give you a golden ticket to life, but then also, that guy was definitely fucking rejected us because we're black, right? Yeah, but instead, she's just going off on him again. We'll be back next week. We'll be back, just like Cap's back.
Oh.
And...
R.I.P.
Maybe we'll get some time travel and we'll talk about that some more.
Maybe Captain America will be... The new one will be nice and shit.
Maybe he's just another Steve Rogers.
Maybe he'll die
maybe
in the second episode.
Maybe he will die in the second episode.
That would be crazy.
Like, fuck.
Because we don't
Somebody
really
killed
like
Captain
him right
America.
now.
Who was it? It was the Falcon.
There's some idiot thinks it's the real one. And then that's when everyone's like, fuck. We need a new one. Any volunteers?
Do you think there's going to be any overt racism in the show?
Overt.
Like, overt,
Define.
like, obvious.
Like, literally
just
say
straight in your
words.
face. Yeah, like, Falcon, get the fuck out of here. We didn't choose you because you're black.
I don't think so.
No? It's just going to be...
Like, maybe, like, the main characters will, like, probably mention a little, like, hint to it. Like, you know why they don't accept us here or something like that. But, like, I don't know if they'll actually say it. Just to not... I don't know. Maybe it'll be too much. I mean, I don't think they would. Like, if it's, like, the government people, they'd probably, like, not say it. Because they're probably not allowed to
be more subtle.
say that. They'll be like, for certain reasons, or like, you don't fit the image, something like that. Right?
Let me go on a quick little story before we end. I'm going to tell you a wrestling story. It's very quick. So, 2000s, early 2000s, two companies, WWE and WCW. WCW, for a long time, was a popular one. A guy there, Booker T, he's a black dude, black wrestler. He's great. 2001, WWE buys WCW. Some of the WCW wrestlers go into WWE. They're now wrestling with their wrestlers. They're all one united front now.
Yes, sir.
Going into WrestleMania one year, Triple H, who was early in his career a WCW guy, went to WWE. He's the world champion. Going to WrestleMania, biggest show of the year. Booker T is going to face Triple H.
Oh.
Triple H said to Booker T before the big show, he's like, people who look like you don't become world champions.
Oof.
It's like a little jab. First because he's black, and then it's an even deeper jab because wrestling, fucking whoever owns the company chooses who the champion is and shit. And then in that company, there aren't many black champions. I think at that point, there was only like 1 or 2. And then the company was running for like 40 years at that point. So yeah, that was a big thing.
Did he say like live television or what?
Live television. Monday Night Raw. Monday night. I just said that. But yeah, on live TV. So, when WrestleMania comes and they have the match for the championship, what do you think happens?
They let him win so they don't seem racist.
Exactly what any sane person would think. No, he fucking lost.
Oh.
You straight up lost.
You said, right?
They choose. The winners and losers are
And it's not
chosen.
depending on who wins the fight? Or how?
Wins the fight? What do you mean?
Like the wrestling?
What do you mean fight?
Like, it's not depending on who did better? It's just like whoever they said is the winner? Or how does that work?
Like they have a match and then somebody wins. But the winner is usually chosen before the match.
Oh, like they get to win?
Yeah.
Like it's set up? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's set up in that way. It's like scripted.
Okay.
Like when somebody like slams you down, you really get slammed down. But like, yeah, they know they're gonna get slammed, but they still get slammed. So like, yeah. So he just straight up loses. And then you would think, oh, maybe after that, at a show after that, that's where Booker T comes back and he's like, oh, I'm done with this. And then he finally wins it. Nope. He doesn't win the world title until years later. So they straight up win. You're black, so you can't be world champion during the match. They just solidified that. It was racist. Very racist thing. So, yeah. That was just a little tidbit. But yeah, that just reminded me of it. Can't be Captain America because you're black.
You don't got the right image.
People like you don't become Captain America.
We can't have you people. You be our leader. Just wouldn't be a right fit compared to Captain America.
Captain America's got to be pristine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know.
I think I have Rhodey looking over at Sam like, the fuck are you talking about?
Okay.
I wonder how War Machine's good. Like, how's that dynamic? Like, if we're going to set this precedent where the government is low-key racist, Rhodey is War Machine, and he's like a high-ranking...
Yeah, he has back.
Yeah. So...
That's true. I forgot.
It's going to be interesting. I'm excited.
Same.
It's going to be exciting to see all the racists come out and complain about it.
The racists?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, why do they have to make that white guy a racist? Not all of us are racist. Yeah. I'm offended. We gotta cancel this show.
He only got the show because
they're trying to say that black people are people too? What?
You're trying to put platform for black people?
They're racist because they're making racism exist because they're saying racism exists.
They're perpetuating it.
If they just ignore racism, it'll go away. Fucking idiots. I know not many people listen to this podcast, but if you listening right now are racist, fuck off. Stop listening, you fucking weirdo.
Idiot.
Ooh, I don't like this person. Why? Oh, they were born with different skin. Oh,
they were closer to the sun. Did you hear that? That was a thumbs down.
Thumbs down?
That was a thumbs down from the racist.
Oh, bad review from a racist. They don't like me. Oh, they're complaining about racism, but they're discriminating against me.
If you disliked this video, you're a racist.
I really like how this Falcon and Winter Soldier review turned into a time travel discussion, turned into
It'd be like
stop listening if you're racist. Just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop doing everything.
Why are you still listening? You feel me?
All right. We'll be back next week.
See you next week.
Probably some more racial talk.
Maybe.
Because they're probably going
Bound
to
to
do
happen.
some more racial stuff.
Mm-hmm. See if they get that loan. Probably not.
I kind of want them to be overtly racist now.
Really?
Because I want all the racists to get upset. Just have like...
They're going to be like, ooh, this is like negative energy.
I want them to go above and beyond. Maybe not even... Just
I guess, yeah,
have like Falcon like try to talk to the president. Try to go to the highest rank in America. And be like, sir, I need to be Captain America. You don't understand. He gave the shield to me. I made a mistake, but I want it back. And he's like...
It could be this big emotional
people
scene.
like you don't become Captain America. And people will be like, oh my
like,
god.
People like me? Canceled. I just tweeted this. You're canceled.
Why are they making fun of Donald Trump? He's not even president anymore. Nobody said it was Trump. Oh.
How do you think they'll, like, ever show Black Panther?
Oh, after he died?
Uh-huh.
They said they're not recasting him.
Uh-huh. It's just
so,
like, maybe something happened.
The common theory is the next movie starts with his funeral.
Oh.
That way, like, because they said they're not going to, like, CGI him or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So it might just be, like, while the funeral is occurring. And just see everybody's reaction to it and stuff. Yeah. People were saying that they want the sister to be the new Black Panther.
Oh.
Oh, you're singing the song from the Spider-Man thing?
Yeah. For
Tony.
Doc.
People want the sister to be Black Panther.
Oh, that's cool.
But then, I don't know if I told you, the actress, a few months ago, basically by what she did, she came out as like an anti-vaxxer.
Oh.
Yeah, she was one of those like, ooh, the COVID vaccine's like, ooh, you're gonna be planting, whatever it is.
So people change their minds.
Yeah, they're like, fuck her, she's a fucking dumbass.
I
and then she had to come out and she's like,
I don't want the part because...
I was just trying to like, what's the problem with asking questions?
Like Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah. It's like, shut the fuck up. Know your fucking position. Know that you influence many people and how they think.
People not care about it.
Yeah. So people are off that boat, including me. She's a fucking dumbass.
Could have been, should have been.
I don't want to fucking deplatform her and take away her job. Chahala. But hey, maybe just like keep her in the role that she's in. What are those? Oh, you don't like...
Are you telling a woman to stay in her place?
Yeah. If she's stupid, stay in your fucking place. Let a more intelligent woman come in.
Make Chahala or whatever her name is.
Fucking put,
Yeah. The woman, right?
Lupita Nyong'o. Black Panther's girlfriend. Make her the new Black Panther. Who are you suggesting?
The other one that wears the, like, hairdresser, what is it? Oh, no, her hair is just... I don't remember. I feel like it's Chahala or something. I don't know what her name is.
Chahala.
I don't know how to say.
In the Black Panther movie?
Yeah, I guess, girlfriend or wife of the, like, shorter guy. That kind of, like, at first, I was trying to, like, help, Killmonger. Like, you know when Killmonger...
Are you talking about the bald woman? Okoye?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's her name. My bad.
Yeah, the fucking,
Yeah.
sees Wanda, and she's like, why was she up there all this time? Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's a relaxing.
I don't know if she's allowed to be Black Panther. I don't know but I don't know. I feel like if you're in that
like
Guardian group for
the
throne, I feel like you can't become the throne.
Okay. I thought you meant like the actress, like
they could change it. They could just be. It could just be like a vote where everybody.
Or that other guy that's like.
She's loyal to Wakanda, so she's got it. She's the best one to represent. Yeah.
TBH, I thought you meant like Black Panther, like the hero, not the actual. Because I forgot that's an actual thing in the movie. To be the Black Panther, like it changes.
Yeah.
I thought like, they're just gonna recast this the sister. Yeah. Like, she's not allowed to be it. Like the actress isn't allowed in her contract or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Do either Black Panther's girlfriend, or have the Okoye be Black Panther, or have fuck it, throw a curveball, do the
Yeah, the guy that was like,
yeah, I don't know his actual name, but Winston Duke from the Us movie. Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Oh.
Yeah, who led like the tribe that went into hiding, but they eventually came back.
Oh, he was the dad, huh?
You want to get crazy? We could get crazy with Lupita Nyong'o. Yeah. Yeah, or have him be it. Or have Daniel Kaluuya be him. You know who he is, right? Yeah, Get Out. Yeah, he's good too. I felt he was wasted in Black Panther. Have him be Black Panther.
He was a little evil in one of them, kind of.
Yeah, where he turned on T'Challa. Yeah, that's a little tricky. But like, I don't know, the time jump, you know, he could easily just be like, hey, you know, change of heart, I was wrong, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it is, I don't know. I don't know how they would do it if it's not starting with the funeral. I feel like that's kind of like a given, because that's all anybody is going to have on their minds when they start watching the movie.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to just address it right at the start.
Yeah.
Can't just go like 15 minutes and be like,
yeah.
Where is he? What are they doing? Because that's the only thing people are going to pay attention to, which is understandable. I'm more curious about how they're going to write him off. Somebody suggested that they literally say what happened to Chadwick. Passed away from cancer. And then kind of just like honors him, where it's like, and then also sends a message where it's like, oh, it could happen to anybody at any time.
That would be cool.
Because I don't know how, like, oh, he was in a battle and he died that nobody has seen.
We didn't see it.
Yeah. It's,
or like,
it's very...
Endgame, but we didn't see when he...
Yeah. Apparently there's going to be a Wakanda show coming in the next couple of years. After the next movie. That's interesting. All right. We'll be here next week. Maybe we'll have a name. But we will most definitely be reviewing the second episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Maybe the title card is a little bit better that time. And yeah. We'll see you next time.
Week.